Hello everyone, welcome to another beer review. Now this is a Wednesday video. Well, the reason why it's a Wednesday video is because I'm on a Irish Stout, Nitro Stout. And the reason why I did this, I found this in Home Bargains. I don't think this is actually to do with Home Bargains, they're just selling it. But a 4-pack of this is basically the same price as, was it Mulligan's, which is an Irish Nitro Stout that's sold by Aldi. So this is what we're going for. So it's 4.1%, so 4.1%, 440ml can, and it's called Dorothy Black. Is she? Anyway, but and I mean that from a kind of Celtic way. A black person being something who's dirty and lack of hygiene. Not anything else, but I'm sure some people will jump on that because, hey, that's as their want. So it's a product of Ireland. It's actually brewed and packaged in Ireland by Dundalk Bay Brewery and Distillery, funnily enough, in Dundalk, County Louth, Ireland. And I think it's distributed by the Ching Ting company. And they actually have a website called DorothyBlack1932.com. So there you go. But it does say 1932 in the label. Anything else? Nothing really. Nothing really. But like I say, they're selling this in Home Bar. I know you're probably thinking, does this guy not go anywhere else now? Is this where he's at now? Home Bargains. It feels that way. It does. But I actually, when I went in there, I bought, a cart full of nonsense, as I would say. And that's why I've got so many. I thought, well, we could. Sometimes you're struggling. Here's the thing. I'm kind of struggling for Wednesday video kind of products. And I don't really want to start getting into the kind of craft beer and start getting all these stupid IPAs and things like that. Because I just think, well, what's the point? Because I'm just going to tell you they're piss and you're going to think, oh, really? That was a surprise. And let's be totally honest, I'm not really going to find any kind of diamonds in the rough or any little gems, am I? Because these bloody craft brewers are so up their own arse and that type of stuff. Well, hey, it's a race to the bottom with them, you know what I mean? So, that's why when I get a good source of kind of more kind of cheaper or less known or what the hell is that kind of options, then I'm going to milk it, I'll be totally honest. And while, yes, I was a bit surprised that the lovely brewery did actually have so many bloody products, I think there's still one to go. Then we've got a pale ale as the last one to do. I'm going to savour that one. No, just as the case as other ones, I've kind of beat it in the queue. Right, we'll be coming out fairly soon. So we'll crack this open and we'll see what it's like. Now what I've done is I did chill it, but I've left it out in the fridge for about 20 minutes just to kind of take the edge off it a bit, because I think sometimes maybe I slightly over chill them. And I've noticed this when I've had a 4-pack, because like I've done the review, I've said it's bland, there's not much flavour, blah blah blah. And then, of course, I've got 3 cans left. I think, well, what I'll do is I'll try one with the football. And, usual, we've all done it, all football's coming on. Oh, Christ, 30 minutes before the football starts, I better shove it in the fridge. That type of thing. And you get it out, 35 minutes later, and it's lightly chilled. But suddenly it's got more flavour. So that's what I've done that way to try and give it a bit more flavour. Trying forward to be a bit more, oh bloody hell. Lively bugger, isn't it? Yes. How's everyone? Everyone having a lovely time? I've been all over the place, so I have. I've been spending quite a lot of time down in Devon, and unfortunately all my kind of major editing kind of hardware is up here in Scotland. And yeah, the problem is I've had to edit beer reviews down there, and it's not actually really the best kit to do it on, and it struggles a bit, and Jesus, it's a bloody nightmare. You know, it's like, you know, you press play to review the video in the kind of editing software, and, you know, the audio is just going normal and that type of stuff. But I'm going, and then I stop it, and then press play again, it'll carry on. And the audio will start at that point and then run away again. And it's very hard to try and get a balance. Fucking Jesus, it's a nightmare. But yeah. But while I was down there, when my father died, when he passed away and I was cleaning out his house, there was a lot of stuff that just, you know, brought back kind of memories for me. But not so much probably for my sisters and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff they weren't really particularly interested in. I thought, what I'll do is I'll just grab all this stuff and I'll just put it down in the unit, and then at some point I can kind of go through it all and sort out, you know, some of the stuff and things like that, and see whether, you know, there's a use to it or there's a sentimental value to it, or maybe you give it away to some of the charity shops or stuff like that, you know. And I brought a bag up, and it was kind of stuff that was kind of camera gear. My dad used to be into kind of amateur photography and things like that. And to cut a long story short, I just chucked a lot of this stuff into a bag, and I thought, well, I'll bring the bag up to Scotland, we'll have a kind of look through it and everything else. For a man who didn't basically do ornithology and didn't really go out, especially in these latter years, really very rarely went out, unless he was just going down to Asda to do shopping and things like that. He had 4 pairs of binoculars. And I'm thinking, he might not be into ornithology, but by the looks of it, he was doing a bit of bird watching, you know. You know, dirty old bugger. But yeah, 4 pairs of binoculars, 2 kind of covert small, kind of pocket size, and 1 kind of autofocus military. And 1 was an original pair that I remember when I was a kid that we used to go and use when we were out kind of hill walking and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I was just kind of shocking, thinking, 4 pairs of binoculars, and you're just sitting in the house. You're a deviant old man, you're a deviant. And fair play to him, you know what I mean. I'm now trying to think is, I wonder what he was looking at. I wonder if he was getting a good look, you know what I mean. I'm kind of curious and slightly a bit jealous, you know. He'd been doing a bit of peepee tom and he didn't even share it, you know. Greedy old bugger. But anyway, I just thought that was hilarious. Why did I get so many bloody pairs of binoculars? Filth. Right, anyway, got no bad heat on it, and very little bubbles in the head, so it's actually poured quite well. Going by the kind of Guinness aficionados, you know, because it's got to be completely like a blancmange in the top, you know, not like an Angel Delight. We don't want the little bubbles now. No, it's got to be bubble free in the top, you know, and it's got to be, makes it more creamy, more texturized, you know. You're like, oh, fuck off, it's a drink, you arsehole, you know what I mean? Right, anyway, what's it smell of? Maybe slightly vanilla-ish. It does got kind of roasted grains, but it's a bit kind of maybe slightly vanilla smell. It doesn't give you any kind of notes, does it? No, absolutely F all. And if you don't know what I mean by F all, it's fuck all. There you go, you know. None of this politeness in this channel. Right, so reset. It's a thing that always gets me. I don't know, but it always gets me. For something with so much fucking texture, it's got fuck all body. It really is. It's amazing. How Irish Stout, it's all texture and no body at all. You know, there's absolutely no resistance. It's okay. First impressions, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's particularly wonderful, but I wouldn't say any Nitro Stout's particularly wonderful, so let's be totally honest. Just find it's just lacking in flavour. all them roasted grains wasted because they never put enough in. You know, they've got to try and make it sessionable, but go down in one lump. Yeah, go figure. I'm also kind of noticing a trend on YouTube, or maybe you have kind of noticed it. You're kind of watching it, and it's like, I don't know, there just seems to be an influx of dumb fucks. I mean, and other dumb fucks that then watch the dumb fuck who's made the video. And it really is, it's a wash with dumb fucks. Let me give you an example. A guy, lots of super glue and a big ball of blue tack, and he thought, oh, I wonder if I can cast. I wonder if I can use the blow. I wonder if I can use the blue tack to make a mould, and then I can use super glue, you know, as the casting medium, you know. And you're sitting there thinking, fucking seriously? So this guy just basically, for I think about 25-30 minutes, is just pushing things into blue tack, sprinkling in some bicarbonate of soda, and then dripping in some glue, and then some more bicarbonate, just doing it in little layers. And then eventually, you know, the glue sets, and he takes it out, the blue tack, and then he's got this little pile of crap, you know. I mean, so man, it's nothing useful, you know. I mean, just utter shit that he's actually casting, you know what I mean. Just extra rubbish. Why would you want to make a duplicate of, you know, because it should be in the fucking bin anyway. You know, like stupid plastic things you get out of crackers and that, you know, and lucky bags. And then he starts painting them. And you're sitting there thinking, how many views has this arsehole got? 65,000 views just for that one video. You're sitting there thinking, he's having a fucking stupid moment. And he's filmed it. And obviously there must be a lot of people that enjoy having it, or quite regularly have stupid moments themselves. And they think, well, great, I can watch this, and instead of me having a stupid moment, I can watch somebody else having it. I mean, it's like that. I think, Jesus God, seriously. Another thing is, why is there so much kind of politics and all this kind of stuff discussed, you know? Whether it's from the left or the right or for God knows where, you know what I mean? It's unbelievable. And it's like everybody's got an opinion. And yeah, it just gets a bit kind of, calm it down a bit, you know, and it's just mental. And people get really quite upset by it all. It's madness. What I would say is the head isn't as tight as Guinness. But I suppose a nice little kind of slight chocolatey kind of coffee flavours. Maybe a little bit of vanilla there as well. Which I wouldn't say is natural. You know. Unless this was made in the island of Madagascar. And if you know, you know. No, I'm not saying there's a lot of fucking Irish in Madagascar. It's one of the major places for growing vanilla pods, you know. Seriously. But yeah, it's okay for what it is. I'm not going to say it's wonderful, but I'm not going to say it's crap. I would say what I would say is all the kind of mainstream kind of competitors, whether it's Blackheart Stout or, well, I think Conor McGregor's one, it's gone now. It's kind of went defunct because of him and his dubious practices towards women. Twat. And obviously Guinness, and you get Murphy's now as well, kind of making a comeback because basically is it Heineken or Carlsberg, one of the two ones that's kind of woken up to, oh, there's a market we could try and get into because it's quite popular, and Guinness is struggling to kind of supply pubs and that. Maybe we should try and kind of push some of that stuff back onto the mainland. Seriously, Christ's sake, lead them by the hand, you know, fucking morons. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's anything worse, really. I think it's kind of very much of a muchness, really. I mean, flavour-wise, it's not too bad. Within that realm. And price-wise, I think it's $4.99, same as what the Mulligan's was. Still, I've got a can of Mulligan's left, so what I will do is I'll do a comparison between the two, the kind of two budget ones, and see which one's the best. But I'd be totally honest, after tasting this, if I was going to go for a Nitro Stout, would I go for a Guinness? Would I go for a Murphy's and all these places? And you know, you're paying $5.75 plus for a 4-pack of them. Well, let's be totally honest, you're saving almost a couple of quid buying these ones. And I'd be interested to see, so I think it makes a difference if you don't over chill it, but maybe some people prefer to over chill it because what flavour is there's a bit too much for them, so I don't know. So we break down these flavours. Start off with actually not too bad. It's not bags of flavour, but I don't think any of these Irish Nitro Stouts have bags of flavour. They're all lacking in their own right. When the flavour stakes, you know. Like I say, it's mostly about texture. And creaminess. No bubbles in the head. And he did a shamrock. Love him. You know, that kind of nonsense. So yeah, it starts off with, you got kind of obviously a little bit of sweetness there, bit of grain, bit of roasty grain. You know, you get that little bit of kind of slight molasses edge to it, you know, that kind of bitter sweetness that you get with it. And yeah, it's fine. I mean, obviously a more traditional stout's got a lot more in the front end, but it's got a lot more everywhere, but certainly a lot more on the front end that you're just not really getting here. So yeah, it's okay, it's fine. Moves on to the mid-tongue, and that's when you maybe start getting, you know, a little bit of little chocolate accents and a little kind of espresso kind of coffee accents. And both have just had a little bit of business to them, and it just adds a little bit more interest. But again, nothing anyway kind of striking or wonderful. Still recovering from this bloody cold. And yeah, it's alright. That is kind of lacking from what I'm looking for in a stout, but if you're into Irish Nitro Stouts, then I wouldn't say it's any less than all the others, to be told. There's flavours kind of similar. And yeah, there's a little bit of bitterness there, but not much. But when you get to the back of the mid-tongue, it's quite a clean finish. There's nothing really kind of appearing at the kind of transition between the back of the mid-tongue and the back of the mouth stroke aftertaste. Yeah, I mean, when you get little kind of near the back end of the mid-tongue, you maybe get light kind of vanilla accents, which don't really obviously feel particularly natural, because what the hell is bringing vanilla tones to it, unless somebody's adding vanilla, you know. But yeah, it's quite a clean finish. There's nothing that lingers, nothing at all. I mean, Jesus, I've known lagers. I mean, mainstream lagers with probably a bigger back end than this, but I think they're all like that. There's nothing really kind of. I mean, I would probably say out of the lot of them, Guinness and Murphy's have probably got more at the back end, but I wouldn't say it's actually giving you particularly bags of flavour. It just kind of gives you a kind of slight linger, that's all. But yeah, and of course, I think like a lot of them are these kind of Irish Nitros, these Irish Nitro Stouts, and the Black Heart one from Brewdog. Did I say Fuck Dog? I don't know why I said that. That's sure they're all fucking dogs up there anyway. Give the sheep a rest. But yeah, I think it's the cases of Beamish's was one that's got the most flavour and got a little bit of kind of smokiness to it and everything else. So it has a little bit more to it. Again, nothing wonderful, but I would say out of all of them, I think Beamish still stands out as being the kind of one with the most flavour. And this, well, it's okay. And it for the price of it, it's drinkable. Very drinkable from that point of view. You know, if you're into these type of things, then I don't think you'd be that disappointed. And I think if you feel that maybe Guinness or Murphy's or that type of stuff's maybe giving a little bit more flavour, maybe at the back end, then maybe the price would kind of sway you thinking, well, saying that though, it actually tastes okay. And for the money, $4.99. Jesus, just slightly under £1 a can, you know, so. So, what would I give this out of 10? As a stout, probably not much, because I'm not a big fan of nitro stouts, because I just feel they're kind of lacking. But if I take it on a point of view, is like, if we take Guinness, if we just take Guinness as being, say, 5 out of 10 for a nitro stout, Murphy's is kind of, well, depends. The kind of Murphy's are selling now, I'd probably say slightly less, maybe about 4.5. Beamish, I would probably say, is maybe about kind of 6.5, maybe edging on to a 7. So this one I would probably say I would give this a 4. You know, on that basis, where Guinness is 5, so I would say it's only about a point behind Guinness. And I think Guinness is piss. It's a bit away, obviously, from Beamish, but I think Beamish is a bit away from even Guinness and everything else and things like that. I would have probably said in the past Murphy's had a bit more to it than Guinness. But the Murphy's are doing now is, oh, Jesus, I think whoever owns them is taking their eye off the ball and they just really don't give a shit about it. And I think they've cut corners and everything else. And while it wasn't much of a drink to start with, I think it's even less so now. So there you go. But yeah, so it's Dorothy Black Irish Stout. It's 4.1%. It's 440ml. It's £4.99 for a 4-pack. You can get it at Home Bargains. I'd say if you're into that kind of beer, then give it a go. I got 4 out of 10 in a kind of nitro stout kind of stakes. So thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye for now.